What's up, Internet? We are back with more Spooky Ghost Month nonsense on my Steam Deck today. Hopefully with better results than last time, I hope. If this fails, I do have some other ideas, but hopefully not. Anyway, this is Dread Delusion. This is an early access game I picked up, probably about a year ago now, thinking about it. And, I have played a lot of this game. I actually really enjoy this game. Early access game, it's still very far from finished. I think the first chapter and a half or so are done, so there's still a fair bit of the story left to go, I think. But I have played a fair bit of it, and it's quite good, but we're on my Steam Deck. And last I checked, my save data did not carry over, so we're gonna start over here. There we go. Huh, I do have a save here. I don't think it's the same one, though, so let's... That was probably just a tester that I threw up before. Because I have a huge save file on my computer that is not available here. So let's start, and we'll play a little bit of this game that I'm actually quite fond of. I might have to tweak the settings a little, because I think the camera might be a little off, though. Anyway, the world is broken, the surface is cursed, inhospitable, and those who remain cling to islands in the sky. In the dank cell of an Inquisition ship, ruminate on your past. So who are we? Well, I remember two specific things about this game that are very important. Speech and lore, which is magic lockpicking, basically. Because fighting is kind of a whiff in this game, if I'm being honest, and lockpicking is entirely a dice roll, so focusing on either of those aspects is not the best choice of what you can do. So we could either, realistically, based on what I remember anyway, go Urchin to increase strength, lockpicking, and agility, no, we can either go Noble or Apprentice for the magic lore or the speech, basically. These are the two things we want to focus on most. Maximum mana is pretty good, because magic is pretty powerful in this game. Regen is pretty powerful as well. But I'm going to go with let's go Noble. Again, we want to boost our speech and lore as much as possible. So again, we could go Occultist or Socialite, again, focusing primarily on charm or lore, because those two things seem to be the most important. We'll balance it out and go with lore to work with that. Now it doesn't matter so much, because Spellcast is the powerfulness of your spells. Barter is bartering. It's not that powerful, really. Agility is pretty useful for what I remember, just for jump height. Defense is okay, though. Let's go with agility, I'm thinking. So how's that feel? I gotta tweak the settings for the controls. Just for the sensitivity. No, we want look sensitivity. Turn that down. Let's try 3 and see what that looks like. Turn. Let's see how this feels. Yeah, I can kind of work with that. This is maybe a little slower. Maybe a little slower. Let's try 2.5. I remember having to spend a lot of time dialing this in. Okay, that feels a little bit smoother. So there's a dead body. This is kind of our lot. It's scary. Hey, Gary. We're here for spooky times. Playing a little bit of an early access game I'm quite fond of. I think there's been an update since I last played too, which is cool. We won't get anywhere near there, I'm sure, but let's go. So we've been marked for temporary release. We gotta go talk to an Inquisitor to figure out why. So why are we being released? Only the Inquisition can answer that? Okay, let's go talk to our new boss, I guess, the Warden, and figure out what this is. It's kind of like the precursor to Dark Souls, Kingsfield. It's a little bit like that. I have another game I want to do this month that's also basically retro Kingsfield. It's very fun too. That one's got much better puzzle design and combat, but I spent a lot of time playing this game and I quite like it as well. Okay, so basically they're here to capture someone who has kind of gone rogue, and they've kind of sent everyone out to go get them. Unfortunately, that hasn't worked, so we're sending prisoners, which means us. So we're gonna go try and catch this outlaw, basically. So how are we supposed to do that? Don't die. You have to be better than everyone else we've sent beforehand, but don't die. I'm still feeling a little bit sick. I've got a bit of a cough, but otherwise I'm pretty okay. Just had some turkey a few hours ago because we had Thanksgiving dinner, which is nice. Okay, so we got a journal. And we got some stuff here. We got a health potion. There's a quick menu. I gotta remember how to do this. Also, this world is freaky looking. I need to catch some footage of this for something Jet Wolf asked me to do. But yeah, this world is crazy. And it's basically PS1 era looking. So, spoilers, but the person we're looking for is on that ship right there. They're not that far ahead of us. We're just in the tutorial area, though. It's going to get bigger from here. So what is the hot buttons? So there's a hot button thing. Items spells. Okay, here we go. We want that, and we want this. Do we know any spells yet? No. Okay. I hope your meeting goes well. Okay, so I don't know what our hot button actually is. And the problem is... Okay, so left and right is... Oh, hot button is down, that's what it is. I remember because I always set the map button to that. This is a side quest involving getting a map and mapping all this there. I just love looking at this world, like, it's so freaky looking. This is why I spent so much time playing this game, just looking at the world. It's a very neat world. It's very PS1 era looking, too. Okay. Here's where we're going to get our sword, if I remember correctly. Got a crappy rusted sword. That's not the button, that's the button. Okay, we want to grab our crappy sword, because now we have a weapon. We can hack and slash our way to victory. Sort of. Combat in this game is not its strength. So these big tall boxes you can cut open and get stuff, usually lockpicks, which is part of the reason why you don't invest too heavily in lockpicking as a skill. Lockpicking is just a dice roll, effectively. I haven't really played Morrowind, so I couldn't speak too much about that. Okay, so basically they're saying, don't fight things, it will go badly for you. I tried fighting things the first time I played this game. It, in fact, did end badly for us. There's a crouch button. But I'm a saucy redhead. Let's go fight some stuff and see how well this goes. The thing is, we're not really equipped for combat, and this game's combat is not really its strong point. And these guys are really overpowered. Got a throwing knife, though. That's cool. You can buy a house in this game. And there's like a monster lady guarding it, from what I remember. So that's kind of cool. Now, I think they've tweaked the damage values in this, because when I first played these games, I think these guys could, like, one-shot you. And that is, it's nice that that's not the case anymore. Yeah, I've heard good things about Morrowind. And it is backwards compatible. I might have it on Steam. I'm not sure. I might be thinking of Oblivion. I've got one of them. What's the jump button? Okay, so that's the dash button. Ew, I don't like that. Okay, so jump is, for whatever reason, the Y button, which is not great. Like, I can get swinging the sword being mapped to the shoulder buttons, but mapping jump to Y is a little weird. Which would be X on an Xbox controller. I'm using a Nintendo Pro controller. Because I need to make use out of my Wii U Pro Pad somehow. Actually, it's great, because, like, this thing is 10 years old and its battery is still basically new. It still holds a charge super well. These throwing knives weren't always here. I think these are a new addition to the game. They give you some form of ranged attack outside of arrows. But, okay, that's going to bug me. Can I change that? Let's see if I can change that, because I feel like I need to be able to change that. Jump. Jump is going to be that button. And then, what's the map button, or the open menu button? Because I assume that didn't change it. I guess we'll see. Return? Yes. That did not do anything. Okay, so Gotta find the other thing that's mapped to X, I guess. I hated Oblivion. I'm not gonna lie. I've gotten all the achievements on that on my Xbox 360 out of spite, because I never want to play it again. And it's because I became a vampire in that game, but that game didn't really explain how to become a vampire. There it is, inventory. We want to change that to, I guess, Y. Okay, there we go. Good enough. There we go. Okay. But, like, the thing is, they don't explain how to cure yourself of vampirism, and the thing is, if you already are a vampire, there's one way to do it, and it's, like, the longest quest ever. And I was enjoying the game, so I went out of the way to do that, because if you're a vampire, you burn in the sunlight, you can't fast travel, you can't wait, and people actively attack you just because you are a vampire. And it got to the point where I was so frustrated because I couldn't go anywhere, I couldn't do anything, that I went and did this vampirism cure quest, which, again, takes forever. And right as they sought to give me the, there it is, reward, which is curing my vampirism, the game broke. So I was stuck being a vampire, so I couldn't really enjoy doing anything. So I made it a life goal to 100% that game, so I never had to play it again. And I did. I never really took part in the horse armor. Okay, so here's our first speech check. I'm not sure if we're good enough. But we're going to see if we can get some information out of this guy. Yes, we did. Okay. So, he realizes we're one of the prisoners, so he's going to tell us about where he left some stuff that I already know about, which is he left it in the river over here, from what I remember, unless I moved it. This game is really cool. Okay, so we got a little bit of money, we got a potion, mana potion for magic. Don't have magic yet, though. But we got a free coin. I don't remember buying anything in this game, though. You don't really need to. Everything's pretty much given to you. I'm not sure I can talk to you. Let's find out. Yes, I can. I could use your help. Will you follow me? No, you won't. Justice once. Unfortunately, we don't have 40 charm. So the creepy zombie people won't help us all that much. We got some free stuff, plus one of these cages, which I think is like a mini prison. Okay. So again, our ultimate goal is to get to that ship up on that cliff, which is not that far away. Gonna steal some free gold. I don't think there's anything else around here for us to nick. We can break this box. Grab a lockpick. Grab another lockpick. And this is lockpicking. It is a random dice roll. And this is just what you have to do. And it's not really all that interesting or pleasant. I always pick the lizard people. And I'm not sure that's a great idea because the only advantage they really get is breathing underwater. But I liked them, so I went with that. Okay, now, I believe this is where we learn about magic. Okay, so here's where we have to use our lore skill. So again, it's basically magic lockpicking. If we don't have a high enough skill, we can't do stuff. It's the same as speech, and it's why these two are the most important stats in the game. I only ever played the lizard people and the cat people once. Okay, so this is the magic lock picking. There's a door here we need to open it using the magic locks. Boom, we had the right stats. Now let's do it here. It's not that interesting. But there. I did play the cat people once, but that's only because they had a bonus power to unarmed fighting, and I decided I wanted to play a game where all I did was bare-knuckled box everything to death. That was an interesting way to play, because there's only one thing that boosts empty-handed, which is a pair of gloves you find in the sewers. Now, I remember there being like 4 or 5 enemies that would be just here to kill you. They seem to have all disappeared in the update. So that's cool. Oh. Here's one of the levels. So to level up, you have to collect skulls. So there, we now have a piece of one level anyway. We got to get a couple. Okay. So find stuff to find respawn points or teleport points. Okay, so we got the magic to return home. That's not that useful though. Okay. You lost your dream journal. You keep an eye on it. Okay, so go past the fortress, look for a lake. I think I know where that is. Okay. And my cat wants out because I cannot stream without having my cat either want out or in because he's a cat. There you go. Okay. Actually, 15 minutes might be a record. He usually does it in the first, like, 5. Because he's a cat. Okay. What else do we have around here? Can open this door. Ooh, treasure chest. Can I steal something cool in here? Yes, we got the Cipher Spear. Now, from what I remember, this is basically the only magic spell worth mentioning, and possibly also, like, the only one. Aside from, like, return home. I think there might be a healing spell as well, but I just remember this one being kind of awesome. Can only equip one spell at a time. Okay, now. Let's see if we can find something to use this spell on, because basically it's a magic missile. Oh, we got something we can go steal over here. We got a creepy flower that appears to be breathing. That's useful for crafting. I don't do much crafting in this game, though. Okay. Now, we do need to go the other way, really, but there is stuff over here, so we'll go over here. I just like looking at the sky. Like, the sky in this game is just so freaky and otherworldly, and I kind of love it. Also, just in general, I like the low poly PS1 style visuals. There's something about that that just hits with me. It might just be because I never really had a PlayStation to enjoy those games that I kind of found myself more and more attracted to them. Okay, so we got some free gold over here, and we got a couple of enemies. Alright, I've got magic. Let's do it. Pew! 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 And you healed yourself. Great. Here's a fun story. Enemies heal and I'm dead. Also, I think something may have slightly broken. Because this is effectively the god of death. He shows up to revive you at areas. When you die the first time, you're supposed to have this cutscene. But the problem is, I think you're supposed to have this after a set point. Because, as you recall, I'm trying to get to the cliff with that ship on it. Yeah, he's literally right under it in the same fortress. So, I think, like, until you get to this fortress, you're not supposed to have this cutscene. You're supposed to revive wherever. At least that's how I remember it. But again, this might have been a change since I've updated the game a few times. So how do we get here? God of Death saved us. I didn't want to be saved, and you didn't want my consent. Fair enough. I guess we're gonna go help this God of Death. The nice thing is he wants the same outlaw we're after, so, like, we're in cahoots, basically. Yay! Thanks for the raid, Carrie. Okay. So, basically, we need the God of Death to keep us alive because we are inept at fighting. The thing is, though, as I said, we're kind of now right under where we need to be. Now, to be fair, to get there, I have to leave this place and walk around. And these guys will mess us up, so let's neck a potion and just skirt around this. What is the sheath weapon option? Oh, yeah, we got a block option and a run. I forgot about that. Okay, so we just shortcutted the tutorial a little. This is the lady we're after. So it turns out, death is a shortcut for a good many things in this game, I guess. Okay, so we're here to apprehend you on behalf of the jerks what had us in prison. She is rather mean. And now she's leaving, because why would we finish the game in the tutorial? That would just be silly. And off she goes. And as far as I remember, this is about the last point we see her in the game thus far, because she's... Again, the story's not finished, not by a long shot. But she kind of wanders off. Okay, so what do we have here? We have upgrades. I guess this is a house? This didn't used to be a house, but okay. Take a free heal from that. Grab that. Can I break this down? Nope. Can I break this down? Nope. Got a stamina potion. These are not super useful, I don't think. If we need stamina, we'll go to an inn or something. Okay. So... effectively, before we died, we were all the way over there. Ideally, we want to get to that hut to get some upgrade materials. But I think we're hanging out over here to get that dream journal as well as a side quest type of thing. So it's cool we're here for the moment, but it just seems weird the game kind of teleported us right towards the end of the tutorial. Also, this is new. I don't remember there being a ship down here. Neat. Seeing new stuff I'm not familiar with. Although, granted, it's been about 6 months since I last played this game. Yeah, no, this game's got some really cool visual stuff. It's got some cool world building and mechanics along with it. Does this game have fall damage? Let's find out. I can't remember. Nope, it doesn't. Got some coins, got a potion. Looks like more coins. I think that's everything down here. Ooh, got some lockpicks though. We're going to burn through those real fast because we aren't adept at lockpicking, but lockpicking's a dice roll anyway, so it doesn't matter much. Some more coins. Okay. Our people are still wandering around, if I remember correctly, so we got to be a little bit careful, but if I remember correctly, there's something over here. Okay, so there's some iron ore. I think there used to be a level up around here. Might be misremembering. Well, if we were talking back in the time, I never had a PS1. So, it wouldn't have done me any good. If it was on the Saturn, absolutely, but... yeah, I'd buy this if this was on the PS1. I mean, I bought it because it looked like it was on the PS1, and I thought that was neat. Like I said, I've never had a PS1, so I'm kind of really attracted to games that stylize themselves after that. Just because it kind of makes me want to relive those moments that I never really had. Okay, now the Dream Journal's somewhere around here. I think it's up on that hill, if I remember correctly. Got some more people who are going to try and kill us if we let them, so let's avoid that. Down the river, because there's no fall damage. Okay, so these are goblins. We don't want to fight them because we're not really equipped for fighting, because fighting in this game isn't the best. But there is something interesting in this game where there's kind of like a hostile faction system. Well, there's actually like multiple faction systems, but goblins and other various things in the world actually kind of have their own factions as well. And if you get specific pieces of clothing, they'll think you're a member of their faction and they'll leave you alone. Unfortunately, we are not currently equipped with the goblin items, so we are still going to get attacked by them, so we're going to avoid them. But, yeah. guys look cool, though. You look kind of like a thing out of Mononoke or something. Okay. That's enough staring at you while you attack me. Don't believe we can get to that island. Oh, we have an unspent delusion. That's great. I would like to use it, but I'm being chased right now, and this game does not pause, or it doesn't stop time while pausing. Also, there are dragons, by the way. Okay. So let's see if we can lockpick this. We need a 5. There we go. Again, kind of worthless to actually invest in lockpicking because it's all random. Hey, Firelina. Hope you're having a good night. Or day, or whatever time it is for you. It is basically a retro Elder Scrolls or King's Field. And it's quite good. Like I said, I've got another PS1 game that's basically a retro King's Field I want to show off at some point. Maybe next week or something. Somewhere down this week. Okay, we've got... I think we still have a full delusion to actually spend, and I'd like to. Got the dream journal, so we can hand it into that guy. That's cool. Let's hopefully not get eaten by goblins. Is there anything else around here worth grabbing? There's a coin. Let's grab that. Okay. There's no fall damage, so it doesn't matter much if we drop like that. Got some more money over here. Still not a lot of use for money in this game, really. Like, you can go to a store and buy better weapons, and once we get out of the tutorial, and you can spend money on basically just inns and stuff, but there's really not a huge use for money in this game. Not yet, anyway. Also, we got to be careful about our resource management. Stuff like iron ore, which you need to upgrade equipment and stuff, is finite. I think they said they were planning on making a way to, like, get more, but currently I don't think there's even enough to fully upgrade a, like, weapon and a set of armor. So we got to be a little bit careful. Not sure we're even going to get to that point tonight, but again, I'm mostly just wandering around to look at stuff. Oh, that's pretty, and in fact, that's probably the shot I want for the thing I'm going to do for Jet Wolf. So, that's cool. I'll have to remember that's there. Here, if I remember correctly, is where we need our magic lore. I'm not sure our level is quite equipped for it, but we'll see. Here it is. You can kind of see that you're going to need your magic lock picking right about here, because you see, like, sideways candlesticks and stuff. How long did I play this before? My first playthrough, it's not finished, of course, but my first playthrough up to the point where I kind of got stopped, which is 3 islands in, that was maybe about 12 to 15 hours, but you have to understand I was dying a lot and I was exploring everything. So, you know, I was doing all the side quests, I was exploring everything. I was doing the various faction quests and stuff. Okay, so we do have enough lore for that. Something else needs lore, but I'm guessing it's outside. I'm surprised how much of this I actually remember. Yeah, here it is. But you can kind of see that there's a fake door here. Unfortunately, we can't do anything without lore, which is, again, why you specialize into lore and speech. Okay, so we've got another delusion. Where is the menu so we can actually... Alright, so here's our stat page. We've got a 3 in cleverness, a 1 in wisdom. We can add 2, whatever, but let's take a look and see specifically. Okay, so we got a lore of 25 and a charm of 15. We add 1 there, we have a charm of 20. Now we have 25. So our lore and char are equipped to be roughly the same. We want to keep those 2 as our prioritized stats. Got a common ring of health. This gives us more health, so we'll use that. Never got used to the menus in this game. Or any game, really. Menus are hard. I'm not sure what that... Oopsie, don't use magic. There, got more health. Cool. Also, magical ghosty table. Okay. So... We've mostly done the tutorial area. I know that there's one place we can go and have a speech check to get some more loot. think that's more or less it, though. You'll see these bridges around here. Oh, we got to get that other ore that was in that little hut over there that we died at. Okay, yeah, we can do that. What's this? Okay, doorman turns you away. You need a what? 25 persona to talk your way in. Okay. This I don't think was here before. This is new. I don't recall this being here. And it looks like there is some kind of really cool ore in there for upgrading gear. I never upgraded beyond like the +1, so I don't think I ever got to that point. So that's new. That's neat. There's a flying island up there. You can actually go up there. There's like a actually genuinely sizable quest line up there from what I remember where you have to solve a mystery. It's very, very cool. Got some more stuff over here. There's this island, which as far as I know we can't get to yet. That's the main island for which the next chapter and indeed the entire game kind of revolves around. And there's the big creepy neuron star up there. Because I think it's heavily implied we're kind of effectively wandering around the brain of a god or something. Well, the game's unfinished, so yeah, they're gonna add new stuff. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is supposed to be the back end or not, but these giant bridges tend to have like a toll booth on one side, and it could just be that it's not implemented yet, because again, I don't think we can get over there. That might be where the game ends, or at least super late in the game, but currently we have no way of getting over there. I'm not sure how we get to those floating islands. I know how to get to that one, though. Those might just be there for looks. Not sure. How do I sheath my weapon again? That's not it. That's the run button. No. No. Nope. Nope. I don't know how to sheath my weapon. I mean, it's not that big a deal, but I'm going to need to know this if I'm going to try and get some footage for Jet Wolf without a bunch of stuff in the way. Okay. So we still have that one little area we need to get that material we saw in. There's a tower we can try and talk our way into to getting some loot, but otherwise I think we kind of have everything in the tutorial area. At least everything of meaning and substance. And a health potion. I remember there being a lot more enemies around here in previous versions, and in general that they kind of murdered you in one hit, so it was actually really scary. It's actually been substantially easier to get through. Also, this person that's getting shot at is just having none of it. Can I hide behind you? Protect me. Nope, I don't think they've got the range. Okay. So we've got the dream journal. We have to give it to the guy in here, if I remember correctly. There you are. Hi, guy. I found your journal. Alright. Okay, and we got a new delusion. I'm going to hold on to that and not spend it right away, just in case. Because I'm not sure which I want to embrace first, whether we want to do talking or magic lock picking, but we'll see as the time comes. I'm going to drink a potion so we don't die. Probably going to avoid fighting because, again, fighting in this game isn't the best. They've kind of added like a bit of a parry system, if I remember correctly, but I'm not that great with it. And there's not really anything you ever really need to fight. Like, you can, but there's not a huge need for it. Okay, got a lockpick. Need a 5. That was lucky. Okay, got a new level. A peaceful level. And iron ore. Nice. Now we're going to flee because I don't think there's anything else up here we need, but let's take a quick look around. Okay, now, if I remember correctly, I might be wrong, but that might be the Castle of the Dead. But I remember the Castle of the Dead being on the other side of those. So that might actually be a cathedral or something. I remember there being kind of a sort of mid-sized dungeon in there. The Undead City is quite cool. Because they eat human flesh, they actually have like a farm for it. Also, there's a dragon. You'll have to deal with all those things on the third island, which, as far as I know, is the last area. I got to a toll booth that I think was actually leading here of all places, but I didn't have a key to give to them. And I swear I had one, but they just wouldn't accept it, so I'm not sure. But either way, bop. Got a free coin. Oop, and there's a glowy. Gotta grab the glowy for the mana potion. Alright, cool. So yeah, it looks like we kind of have everything around here. We have an unspent illusion. I know. Don't really want to spend it right off, though, because I'm not sure which one will be more useful right off. I know we're about to go through persuasion check. And I know once we get across, there's a pretty big persuasion check that'll help us get something pretty cool. But I can't think of an immediate use for lore, so I'll hold off until we have an exact need for something. Here we go. I'm absolutely attempting to run from the duty. So yes, you need a permit to cross all these bridges. Also, I'm not sure what the big tired-looking logo in the top left is. It could be that we needed to sleep. That would make sense, anyway. So unfortunately, there's no way to open this door, alas. But there's a treasure chest and what appears to be a peaceful level in here. But hey, it's one of the evil soldiers. But she's not that impressed with us or her own people. I'm hunting your boss. Seems she doesn't like her boss too much. You want to give me your free stuff? Yep. Get some free stuff. Sweet. Gonna go get some free... Also, upgrades. We could upgrade our rusty sword to a steel sword, but we're not going to because, again, there's a limit to this, and we can actually buy a nicer looking sword in town when we get there. So, currently, we're not going to do that. I'm actually not sure. Although, we can take a look real quick. Let's go to the store page. Yeah, so I've got about 16 hours, and let's go to store page. I didn't realize this was verified for the Steam Deck. Should have a list of languages somewhere. Languages. English. I think it might be English only right now. Unfortunately. We got another delusion. And we got a rusty helm, which would help us less likely get smashed by those people who could two-shot us in a previous build. Okay, so let's slap our head with a brain bucket. Here we go. Okay, so I think we've gotten everything of value from the tutorial area. And only in 40 minutes. It is pretty cool it's verified. I do appreciate that. I thought it was one of those sort of playable things, because I noticed the menus are a little fiddly, but nope, it's verified apparently. That's pretty cool. Okay. So, we want to go back to the ship that we were on, which is right here. They were nice enough to move it for us. Unfortunately, we have to unlock the gates to make this a shortcut, so... no fall damage. There was fall damage, apparently. Fair enough. Fortunately, I've got potions for days. And a free coin. I'll take that. Okay, so let's avoid the people in blue who definitely want to kill us. This looks like an interesting landmark, but I don't have a map to map, so that's fine. God of Death is in there. Got free coins. I think we're pretty much done with this area. Plus there's a dragon again. That's important later on. Currently not so much. Mainly because we're not on the third island yet. Okay, so now we interact with the lever. That drops the drawbridge, and boom, here we are. And here's the ship we were on earlier. It will sit here for the rest of time, as far as I know. And here's our lovely cell that used to have stuff in it like us and this dead guy, and still has this dead guy, but not us. There kind of are consequences. There are some big consequences in this game for some of the faction stuff and some of the quest stuff. I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's some... You can leave your mark on the world depending on what you do. It's kind of cool. Alright. So I tried to get her. She ran off, but I didn't die, so that's a plus. So we gotta still chase after her. But in order to do that, we have to go to the pub in the town. In order to do that, we need to get across the thing, which means we get a passport. And we've got ourselves some potions. Okay. So, we finished the tutorial level. Now we get to move on to what the majority of the game is, which is the first big island over there. And there's some pretty cool stuff out there. Including an island you can own all to yourself. In fact, I think that that sort of red blobbish island I'm pointing at right there is the one specifically you can own. So that's cool. Okay. Alright, I can run. Really need to remember that I can do that. Okay, well now that we have a passport, we can enter over here. Let me through. I have one. Let me through. Okay. So the bridge is down. We can walk across. And we're saving because auto-saving. And we were all the way over there at one point. And there's a bunch of really cool stuff over here. So this is where the majority of the game currently is. It's where like the only real town in the game is. It's where most of the stuff is. Okay. We could jump from here. Probably don't want to though. I'm gonna jump up here, try and land on here, try and land down here. Good enough. Off we go. I really love how surreal this world is. It's really macabre and interesting. Okay, so there's the first town. We're gonna go there in a sec, but I'm gonna see if we can grab something that'll make our immediate adventuring a little bit less scary. By that I mean it's not actually all that scary right now, but it will make things slightly less hostile to us. So let's go to the forest over here. Because I know where all this stuff is because I've played so much of this game, even though it was about half a year ago. Still fairly fresh in my mind because this game is just really cool like that. Okay, now what we're looking for, I think it's right up here. Ooh, okay, so this floating thing is totally non-hostile, but you can steal its eyeball and get thread, which will give you better armor upgrades later. It's, again, a very macabre game. I kind of love it because it's not quite horror, but it's sort of horror adjacent. Just spooky enough for me. So there's this guy. He's just this guy. But I'm hoping my speech is high enough for this. Okay. I've embraced my wretchedness. May I pass? No. We need a charm of 50. Okay. Hold on. The only way to get past this is to have this speech check done, and I think I have enough if I spend my delusions right. Okay, I think we are currently... We are currently tired, so our charm is dropped a fair bit. But if we increase that... Yeah, so we should rest because we are currently fatigued. So we currently have a charm of 25, not quite enough, but if we go and rest, it might bump it up. So let's go back to town. And we'll come back here. I don't remember there being a tired state. But I usually just hang out at the... So this is a bigger one. He has a sword. I don't remember these guys carrying swords, but he's spooky. Okay, so we're going to go to town. It's just right here, so it's quite convenient for us. You'll notice the giant skull. That's the tavern. It's literally built out of a giant's skull. Because, again, macabre. Does this have achievements? No. This is still early access. They haven't implemented stuff like that. But considering that there is some, like, either-or choice stuff, it might be a little bit weird to add achievements to something like this, if I'm being honest. Or they'd probably make you play the game twice to see everything. That giant got poked in the eye. Okay, so step one, let's go sleep, and I guess we'll talk to the guy we need to talk to. Oi, give me a room. The wobbly noggin. I'd like to rent a room. The skull suite is vacant. Great, I get to sleep in the giant brain bucket. Okay, let's do it. So let's go sleep in the giant skull. Also, there's some stuff. Talking about religion and stuff. Thornwood Manor. You can go own a house if you have 200 gold. Build some renovations and stuff. You can... We're inside the giant skull. I feel I need to point this out. It's kind of freaky and cool. Okay, so we need sleep. I don't know what time it is. It's very hard to tell because time of day in this game is a little wonky. But it's now daytime, I guess. We're not tired. What is our stats currently looking like? We have a charm of 30. We have a charm of 35. We do not have enough to convince that guy to give us the thing that I want, which is annoying. Now, if we had higher acrobatics, we could jump a little bit higher, and that would let us into a little secret area that would get us a free level, if I remember correctly. You might notice the giant freaky ghost monster in this image. That will come into play later on in the game. There's a lot of lore. I'm not going to read it all right now. Can I break this lock? No. Lockpick broken. Lockpick broken. Lockpick broken. Lockpick broken. Lockpick broken. Lockpick broken. I'm honestly not sure how boosting your lockpick skill actually increases your odds of actually doing this, because it's random. And there go all our lockpicks. Well, we tried. Okay, so we do need to talk to someone around here. Somewhere. That's the room we were in. Hold on. Oh, it's a little quill on the desk. I thought I saw there's something weird there. Nothing weird, just some writing implements. We need to talk to a guy. I think this is who I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone. Yeah, here we go. I'm a prisoner. I'm just here to catch your boss, because she's kind of horrible. Okay. So what are you talking about? I need some more of my soda stream. There we go. They've told me nothing other than I need to catch your boss. I tried to catch her. She ran off like a coward, and as far as I know, she isn't in this game any further. Okay. So, are you gonna help me find your boss? Okay. What did I do? I was a politician. They're all criminals. Okay. So. He was the shame of the Union Navy, apparently. He used to be a respected captain, though. You decided to follow your protege when she ran off, I guess. Do I have anything I want in this game? I mean, I'd like it to be finished. I don't know, really. Like, I guess I wish that the combat was a little bit better and that there was a reason to really take part in it, because as of now, there really isn't. You can kind of just avoid everything, and unless you need to go into a house that has enemies, you can just kind of walk past every single fight. So why are you hunting your protege here? But as a whole, I'm just enjoying the game and what we have thus far. It's a little bit buggy, it's a little bit wonky in some places, but I am enjoying what we have so far, and I just would like to see it get finished. Okay, yep, you trained her. So how do we find her? So if we've got some former mercenaries. So what's this about a mutiny? She found a map that would lead to something that could change the fabric of reality itself. Interesting. Also, I wish they would fix some of the bugs. I remember talking to one character, and I think it just had some prototype text where it just said, like, brackets English text, brackets finished. It's like, oh, okay, you might need to fix that. There are some bugs in this game, for sure, but I think it's good. Okay, so we've got the Embryon. This is something that was added, I want to say about 6 months ago. This is kind of like the next big chapter of the game. We're not going to bother with this, I don't think, too much. Okay, got it. I'm going to pretend I actually listened to any of that, because I'm just here to wander around and look at stuff. I'm going to get going. See if we can buy ourselves a better sword than this piece of crap. Also, there's a thieves guild around here that's got like this cool underground base and stuff. They're kind of a separate faction you can take part in as well. There's a bunch of hidden gods around the world we can talk to. There's like a giant cursed castle. And this is all just like stuff you can do to the side of chapter 2 or chapter 1, whatever. There's a fair bit of content here. Although I will say the majority of it is in this sort of follow-up to the tutorial chapter. Okay, I want a better sword. Give me a better sword. Yeah, I'd like that. How much money do I have? I've got 60. I can buy that, actually. Let's do it. Let's buy that fine sword. Cool. Let's replace the sword we have because it looks better. That's the one I'm looking for. I need to get to that page. Alright. So this does 3 times as much damage as our previous weapon. And it looks cool. So that's good. You might notice these signs up here. This means that the person manning the shop will not let you into their back rooms. However, if it's nighttime, you can pick the lock and explore these places, and there's usually some treasure in all these places, so it's kind of cool and worth doing. We could upgrade that if we had that armor, but we don't. We could use that helmet, because that'll give us additional attack. That might be pretty good. I don't think we have enough iron ore right off to upgrade that, nor do we have, in general, oh, we do have just enough. We can upgrade that, I guess. We don't have any armor either, though, so it might be worth trying to grab some new armor. This is a clothing shop. Give me some armor. So it's worth also noting that there is kind of a armor set system that gives bonuses, if I remember correctly. Okay, so if I remember correctly, the thieves outfit's pretty kicking in this game. Okay, spellcraft for vagrants. Plus it gives plus 10 armor. That's not bad, but we don't have the money. Just yachts. There's the Thieves Guild down there. Now, if we had invested in agility, we could get on top of these crates and get into that building, but we did not. So unfortunately, that's a bit beyond us right now, which sucks because, as you can see, there's actually a illusion up there, which we could have grabbed and leveled ourselves up. And I think I've already sunk all of that into my character, yeah. Okay, so currently we have 35 charm. We need 50 to break into that thing to get the thing. So that's out the question currently. What can we do right now? Oh, we can do the Thieves Guild stuff, if I remember correctly. So, if I recall, there's a little bit of a dock around here. Yeah, I already looked at that poster. And then someone just says, hey, can you help me with this thing? And I say, sure. Okay. Help me! And I say, yeah, alright, sure. Gotta deliver some silks to your guy in the wobbly noggin. Okay. Alright, sure. Great! And then she says, don't talk to the cops. I'll just ask a guard if I get lost. No, there's no need for that. Don't talk to the guards. Yeah, so we're not exactly on the up and up here. We don't realize it, but it's pretty obvious. Also, it's a cute little weather vane here. Just a nice little touch. Uh-oh. Making delivery. Uh-oh. Well, I've got some charm skills. Yeah. All I gotta do is charm the police. It's fine. I'm not smuggling contraband at all, I assure you, officer. Okay. I don't know who we have to give this to. That might be a problem. I mean, we can infer it's not him. It ain't you. Okay. You look suspicious. And like you're out of thief. So... you need this? Hooray! We finished a quest. We're now a member of the Thieves Guild, maybe. Alright. So payment? Alright, have some coin. Look for the bust of a skeleton. Okie doke. Give it a yank. This game's got some pretty good writing when it's not broken. Okay, so let's go look for this magic skeleton. Just as soon as I add this to my character. Slap that there. Almost enough. Almost enough to talk my way past that door so I can get something real cool. So that's nice. I think that's the Cursed Castle. That's a fun little quest. Maybe we'll go do that later. First, let's go talk to the Thieves Guild. We might get some extra cool outfit for our character. You'll notice that the character we were talking to earlier is gone. There's someone else over here, though. Also, dragon. I'm going to point that dragon out every time I see it. Okay, so merchants haven't been showing up here. Fair enough. Is there anything interesting around here? There are some, like, secret crevices in the islands you have to, like, learn to jump to. It's pretty cool. And there's some secret stuff in the walls and cliff sides if you know where to look and you know the tricks. So there's kind of a consistent trick about it. Okay, what have we here? Can I break anything and get lockpicks? Because I feel like that's going to be important. I could use this bed and probably get mugged in doing so. I don't think that's an actual feature, but who knows. Can't use these bed rolls, though. Gonna gain some free stuff. Need a 6. And I'm out of lockpicks, alas. Okay, so there's a secret door, obviously. And there's the skeleton we broke. Now I get to go to the secret underbelly of the city, where we get to talk to the Thieves Guild and stuff. Okay. Hey, you weren't wearing that armor last time I talked to you. She's no longer friendly, she's evil. Okay, so we've got a new quest. What's the quest? There's a wealthy merchant. He runs the Winged Merchants Guild and lives in the fancy street up the hollow. He's a collector of strange artifacts. The client wants something specific. Okay. There's a chamber downstairs, barred from the other side. There's got to be a way in there, but the lockpick's not going to cut it. So you probably need the secret lockpick thingamabob. That's the lore or whatever. Yeah, there's actually a couple. There's the Thieves Guild. There's sort of like the Holy Inquisition, who are the people who imprisoned you. You can go into their tower and help them with this stuff. There's like a couple of like dead gods you can side with, and that does some interesting stuff. And that's just on this island. When you get to the second island, there's a couple of different factions there as well. Like I mentioned, there's sort of some of the wildlife has their own factions as well, and you can get stuff that allows you to kind of get around them. There's a spooky little ghost squirmel thingy. There's a lot of really gross stuff in this game, and I kind of love it. So we look for spiky green shells, and these things are in it. They're known as godlets. Presumably little dead gods. Okay. And the thing is, we can take these to her, and she'll pay us with it. And we'll get a bunch of friendliness from the Thieves Guild. Conversely, we can give it to the religious nuts who imprisoned us to make them like us more, or we could give it to the naturalists that probably have the best intentions in mind. So we're probably going to do that if we end up running into that. But, okay, let's see what you're selling. We can get some outlaw furnishings, some tatty leathers. I would like that, actually. Okay, can we sell some stuff? Remarkable treasure. Yes, I would like to sell that. And I'm going to buy those leathers, because that'll give us some armor. And it gives us some agility, which will allow us to jump a little bit better. So grab that. Okay. What we have up here. Must be friendly with this faction to get in there, and there seems to be something sparkling on the other side of that door. The thing about the faction system, though, is it's a little bit, you help one and everyone hates you, so you kind of just sort of have to pick one, and then like the rest will always just sort of be actively hostile towards you, which is not the best system in the world. There's not really a way to sort of mitigate that loss of reputation with one versus the other. Anything down there I want? Looks like there's a delusion down there. Okay. How do I get down there without dying? Let's find out if that'll do it. Yep. Yep, that'll work. There we go. Got a piece of a delusion. And this mushroom grew out of this thing's spine. And out of the back of its brain. Because again, this game's a little bit macabre. Yes, Veil. Legendary mushroom with potent alchemical properties. Blah, alchemical, there we go. If a traveler becomes cursed with the Underlands, their corpse may become host to this fungi. So basically, it's this thing's brain. We just performed brain surgery on a thing that no longer has a brain. And a mushroom grew out of its spine. It's very gross. Is there a way for me to get down there without dying? I don't think so. I think I'm pretty much boned. I think if you increase your agility, you reduce fall damage, and I think there's even like a set of clothing that actually makes it so you don't take damage if you fall as well. I don't think we have that option, so we're just gonna have to fling ourselves and hope we don't die instantly. Pop in! Ow. Alright, that's fine. Do I have a free level yet? I don't think we do. And we don't have enough charm. That's annoying. But we do have that thread that we picked up before, and I think we can actually just turn it around and plop that into the leathers, and that should work to get us an upgraded thing. Also, this water is not animating for some reason. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be animating. But, not today, I guess. Is there anything behind this waterfall? Let's take a look. Yes, there is, and nothing meaningful, but there is behind the waterfall. Yeah, you can do different playthroughs to align with other factions. I'm not really sure there's a substantial reason to. It's really just pick the one you like and you're good. There's, as far as I can tell, there's not really a lot of meaning to any particular faction liking you, other than you can get past a couple of doors. But it's a different way to play the game, and you can see some different results. That said, there are some choices you can make that do have substantial consequences on the world, and that's very, very cool. I think we're pretty close to a little secret thing, so I might as well go show that off a little bit. I think it's off in this direction, relative to there. I think if we just start hugging the cliff walls, we'll find what I'm looking for pretty quick. Okay, so this is a respawn cave. That's not what I'm looking for. But this thing will respawn you if you die. It's sort of basically your death checkpoints. I don't remember it looking like that. That might have been changed. I think it used to be just like a stick with a skull on it. I like this sword design. It's stylish. Okay. So I think what we're looking for is around here. I think. Gotta take a look around. Oh, there's one of those things that gives us threads. These things always move, and they're sometimes hard to find, so if you see one, you should talk to it. Gonna steal your eye and get some thread. I thought the thing was around here. Maybe not. Uh-oh. Thief! Now, if that looked wildly imprecise, welcome to the combat in this game, but I got a shuriken, so we can unleash our inner weeb. If that's really something we want to do. Probably not, though. I don't have a lockpick. Crap. And I'm not built for lockpicking to begin with. Okay, well that's fine. I think what I'm looking for is around here. Got another creepy plant. Jitter seed! That's what we're looking for. Okay, here we go. Here we go, here we go. So this is something to keep an eye out for when you're in this area. If you ever see like a pillar like this, it's a bunch of skeletons. I don't remember it being a bunch of skeletons. I remember it just being an obelisk type thing. Usually means there's a secret in one of the walls. And you just sort of smash your face against it. And eventually you find like the hidden passage. So, there it is. So yeah, it's literally just they have a texture over an open hole in a wall. You can see through it one way. We got a free delusion. Got a free flower thing. And got ourselves a modest treasure that we can sell for money, presumably. So that's cool. That's cool. That's right, we gotta turn in some thread to make our pants better. Okay, well, let's try and get back to town, I guess. We don't have a map currently. You can get a map right now, though. Like, you can only get it once you get to chapter 2, this chapter that we're in currently after the tutorial. And it's specifically because it's more of a giant open world than the linear affair that the tutorial was in. I can show off the map. The problem is, though, the map is blank. And you have to build the map yourself by going and visiting specific locations. Okay, there's a mysterious thing there. What's the obelisk here for? For some reason, you've got a gross obelisk outside your house that tells me there's an invisible wall somewhere. Okay, it was built long before this place. Oh, he's telling us about the obelisk things. Okay, may have been erected to mark important ritual sites, but it's only a theory. They like to hide stuff. Yeah, so there's hidden stuff around here. Also, you got a secret thing in your house, and I'm going to open it up and then steal from you. I think there might be more secret stuff in this house. There it is. Keep an eye out for these candlesticks. There you go. Something has changed, and by that I mean this door opened. Boom! And more loot. We got a red key. An old metal key, red from oxidation, unlocks the dilapidated manor at the foot of the Great Castle. That's new, I think. I don't think that was there before. I'll have to take a look at that, because, yeah, free key with free stuff, obviously. And we do have an extra delusion, so let's slap that into Persona. That gets us Charm of 45. We still need one more level in that. Oh! That's, that one robot doorman wouldn't let us in until we had a Persona, presumably Charm, but said Persona of 45, so let's, go up there, upgrade our armor, get the map, and we'll go talk back to that person. And at that point, we'll have seen a few sites, so we can log them in the map, and I can show how that works. That sounds like a plan. And hopefully by the end of this, we'll have speech of 50, so I can talk my way past that guy to get the thing, so we can get a pretty cool something or other. Lockpick. Needed that. Okay, so to get the item upgrade, we need to go to the armorer. That sounds right. So let's go this way. We'll go talk to the armorer, or rather we'll invade her shop and use her stuff. Here we go. I would like to upgrade that, please. Get some thief armor, plus 20 agility. Yes, please. Alright, cool. I think that's helped our jump a little bit. I'm not sure that's substantial enough. Yeah, so let's see if we can make that happen again. But yeah, this looks like an interesting landmark. Basically, if we had the map, we could log it in there so that we can better figure out where we are. Whoopsie! Alright, we're swimming. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. I can't jump high enough to get back into the sewers. Okay, well, it's fine. I just need the armor. Now we can go find the map maker. This waterfall should be animated. Ow. Okay, so this is a bit problematic. We respawn somewhere. I think we're in that cave I pointed out earlier. Are we? Yeah, we are. There's a bunch of death caves, so it's a little hard to say specifically which one you're at, but yeah, it's the one I saw earlier. Okay, So let's go get the map, and we'll start logging our adventures. And hopefully we'll get that level so I can talk my way past that doorman to get the cool stuff. That said, we didn't go and see if there was like a hidden door around here relative to this. The closest wall, assuming this house doesn't count, is here. So maybe there's a secret around here we just haven't picked up yet. So let's just smush our face into the wall for a little bit. There it is. Alright, cool. Cool. Got a health potion? Got ourselves some iron ore. Unfortunately, iron ore is not that helpful to us right off. We can use it on our helmet, which would be kind of helpful, I guess. But our weapon currently needs a better ore than what we have. Okay, so we need the map. The map is located right there. It's that little floaty platform right there. So let's go talk to the map maker and do his job for him because he's very lazy. Again, the waterfall should be animated. I'm not sure why it's not. Also free stuff. Gonna grab that, thank you. Doesn't seem like there's anything around to kill us, which is nice. Again, I'm pretty sure we're in the brain of a god or something. Like this whole world is ostensibly in the brain of some creature. Hence why it's got neuron stars and like actual like neurons jutting from it to everything else. This is an interesting landmark. I should get it in my map that I don't have yet. Bop. That's not the button I was hoping to... Okay, so this guy's a map maker. Okay. I need a map. Give me a copy. But maybe we can give you a copy. But you have to do all the maps. Okay. So basically we have to map everything. It's a little annoying, but there. Okay, got it. Farewell! Okay, so we need to go to our inventory. Grab the map. And we'll swap over to that. And we'll find something to map out. Should be around here. There we go. There it is. There's the first chunk of the map. There are no landmarks to mark on the chart. And then I think once you get a certain number, you can just use it as a map or something. I can't quite remember. It's been a little while. But since we got to go back to the first area to go figure out what was in that one house anyway, we got a few options to chart some extra stuff. So that's fine. It's a pretty cool little thing up that hill. We might explore there. There's a big castle over there that we have a key for. I want to see what that's all about. I think that's going to be our next big objectives. Well, that and get the things so that I stop getting attacked by stuff. Avoid the big spooky goblin things. Okay. So we're going past this little area again. And we need to effectively get all the way to that drawbridge. That's what we're gonna go do. Fortunately, I know the way because I've played this so bloody much. You get a message about there being an interesting landmark right around here, I think. Or not. That's fine. It's not like I really want to map out all this mapping or anything. Actually, I've got a pretty good idea of where everything is. Unless they've added something new, I pretty much know where stuff is. At least in the first two islands. The third island I'm a little bit sketchy on. Now there's the dragon again. Again, that would be important when you get to the third island, but until then, not the biggest deal. But it's cool looking. Okay, now I believe this is an important landmark. Okay. So I think we get the ability to actually use the map when we talk to... Hello, were you always here? I don't... Oh, right. Right, that's because the Embryon update. That is a more recent part of the game, so I'm not as familiar with it. I did the quests to it, but that's about it. Apparently there's going to be another big update on the way pretty soon, so I'm pretty excited about that. Okay. I don't remember this person being here. I remember there being another goblin, but whatever. Okay, so we need to see what this one robot is not letting us do unless we're charming enough. Okay, doorman robot skull thing. Let me in. Okay. So what do we have in here? I need to know. Can't break this box. Ooh, what do we got here? Fine ore. I'm not sure specifically what that's for. I mean, we have a fine sword, so... What's this? Ah! That's quite cozy is what that is. We got some coins. I guess this is now my house. I own this, I guess. Doesn't do a lot of good for me, but, you know, that was neat. Okay. So, I think we kind of have everything in the tutorial area done now. As far as I can think of anything, anyway. So, we're gonna go see what this key unlocks, I guess. I don't remember what this is. In fact, I don't think I had this key before. But it's also been so long, I can't quite remember. I like this sword design. I think it's quite nice. Whoosh. Also, you can slash and stab depending on how you press the buttons. Although it might be wise to take a rest, because currently we are fatigued. I don't remember you being here. What's your deal, sir? Oh, you bought a map. But it's out of date. Make sure you find an accurate map. Okay. Well, I already have a map I'm kind of working on. I'm pretty sure that's the only map in the game. Okay, so let's go rest at the inn, and then I guess we'll go to the big castle, because apparently we've got a key for a door somewhere around there. This game is so cool looking. This is by a developer that primarily seems to be like horror games. Like I have a back catalog of like 5 of their like horror game jam sessions that they've released, because Fanatical put out a bundle of them, and they're usually very expensive on Steam, and it's like, oh, I'm not really into horror, but I have had an interest in those because of how experimental they are. And I like this game in general. Even though I'm not a big horror fan. Although this game's not super scary, it's just more stylized and macabre. Which works for me. But I also just like Kingsfield, and this is basically that too, so it's nice. Okay, so let's go get ourselves another evening in the giant brain pan. for 2 coins. Go and rest here. Rest till the morning. And we're all good. Okay, so we're gonna go to that tower, I think. But it might be wise, because I know there's something kind of vaguely around that ties into something else. So I think our first goal is to get up that mountain. I think that's what we're going to do right now. Redfall has a moon like this, really? Interesting. I don't know much about Redfall other than people said it was really, really bad. That's about the extent I know about it. Okay. So... I can't quite jump the river. Alas. Okay, so we want to go up that hill. That's where some really cool stuff is, from what I remember. Bit of a mini plot line it's pretty interesting, I think. Oh, maybe it is better, but at the same time, I don't think it's a game worth paying money for. Although, to be fair, it's also by Arcane. I haven't played a single one of their games I've actually enjoyed. Although, I've heard the Might and Magic game they've made that's on Steam is pretty decent. I think that's the only Arcane game I haven't... No, I haven't played Arx Fatalis either. That's a game I have a lot of interest in. But, again, on Steam, maybe if it ever goes on sale, I'll grab it. But my Steam wishlist is also over 3,000 titles at this point. So I don't think I'm buying anything in particular that goes on sale unless it goes on, like, deep sale. And just in general, my financial situation is about to get really scary, I think, so I gotta be careful with my spending. There's a big one of those guys. Let's avoid that. Got another throwing knife. Yeah, let's go up here. Okay. Interesting landmark. Let's record it. My map has been updated. And we've gained a cartography landmark. There are no landmarks. Oh, here we go. Now we have a map. So this is the map we've currently mapped out. Is there a way to zoom out on this? I don't think there is. That might be a problem, and this is very clearly made for a mouse and not a controller because the sensitivity is cranked super high up. But currently this is the map that we have charted thus far. Hey, Vermilion. What's up? Okay, so, again, there's one of these statues to indicate there's a secret around that's probably worth mentioning. And here's where we find a godlet. It's a squirming godlet. So, again, this is, first of all, just a creepy thing that we can pick up, but also... we can trade it to one of 3 factions for their renown, basically. We can turn it into the religious nutters who imprisoned us. We can take it to the thieves who will probably try and extort it, or we can take it to the pagans that I think live up in that island right there. But I'm not sure we're going to be doing that tonight. We'll see. Okay, so this is kind of the hint that there's something here. Can't really get a good idea what from here, though, but we'll see in a minute. Gain some ammunition for a ranged weapon I don't think I've ever acquired, because combat in this game's not great, and your magic missile's pretty awesome in general. But there's a big super secret area right here in this giant Liberty Bell that's cracked open. This is Dread Delusion. So, this guy's a thing. He's just hanging out here. He's a secret. But He's also the start of an interesting little quest about finding kind of a dead god, sort of. About gluttony, basically. Yeah, it's quite good. It's kind of an Oblivion sort of PS1 version of, well, basically Kingsfield, sort of. But Kingsfield was also on the PS1. I want to make a tribute to your god thing. Okay, so those loyal will ferment a delicious wine from mushrooms on the island. Okay. But we can just charm our way past because we're that damn charming. Again, charm and magical lore are kind of the go-to stats in this game. Okay, so go to the castle that lingers above the lands, search beneath it, you'll find the cave. Again, this castle's where we have this key for, so this is kind of why I want to go here. But we can talk about a dead god and maybe do one of the kind of more impactful and interesting quests in this game. I've just decided we're going to do this. It might be a bit of a spoiler to do this, but at the same time, it's one of the more cool moments. I should probably actually invest in getting my Epic Games account to actually do some stuff, because my funds are getting really dangerously, scarily low. So I might have to more and more invest in like the free nonsense I find. Okay, so we got to go to the castle, which is right there. That castle's got a bit of an interesting quest. That might be worth doing too, since it's kind of in the general area. But we're going to look for this god we were going to pay tribute to that we didn't because we're just so damn charming. That's what we're going to do. Oh no, the Epic version's broken. It's almost like the Epic Game Store is a giant piece of crap. It only took them, what, a year to get a like, shopping cart system in place? Did we get an extra delusion out of that? No, we didn't. Crap. Damn it. And our charm is currently only 45, right? We need 50 to charm the pants off that one guy. Yeah, we need +5 charm to get in there. Solstice! I got that in a Fanatical bundle a few months ago. It looks interesting. I have not played it, though. I think I actually currently have it installed on my Steam Deck, actually. I'm not sure what that is. I don't think that was there last time I played this, whatever this is. I think this is where I need to go. Okay, so there are these enemies. These guys are absolutely freaky looking. Yeah, they're hostile to us. This one just seems to be nice and let us stare at it, though. I think its movement might be slightly broken. And this one is guarding this bridge we need to cross, so that's annoying. And that other one's right behind us, so we're going to try and kite him off. Because I don't really want to fight any of these things. Devil May Cry Bayonetta with anime characters. That sounds fun. I did get it through a Fanatical bundle because I thought it looked pretty good. Do we see anything that has a red lock on it so we can use this rusted key? Let's find out. Got this destroyed house. Well, this is a lock, but it's not the one we're looking for. Curse my... Ah, God! Damn it. You followed me into a house. Well, now you're dead, you big, creepy banshee thing. Interesting, it's an Italian game. Cool. Okay. Also, I like that some of the, like, grasswork just clearly looks like coral. It's very all over the place, but I kind of love the visuals. I don't think this house was here before. You can tell this because there's a bit of a tree growing through it. And I don't think that's intentional. Also, there's very clearly something here. Okay. Well, this is a big creepy lock. Aha! Okay, what do we got here in this mysterious room of empty? It's a mysterious empty room. Something happened if I close the door? Was I cheated out of something by going into this house? I think I was. Okay, well, that was the use of that key, I guess. Interesting. I've just found like the epic versions of everything just tend to be crap. But that's the Epic Game Store for you. The extent of which I have it is to log on twice a month and get free games that I'll never play. Unless somehow it eventually merges with Steam so I can just have both libraries. That's literally the reason why I have it. Well, if it makes you feel better, this is running on my Steam Deck. So this is Linux. You could play this right now. It's early access. It's unfinished. It's a bit buggy here and there, but it's neat. Well, I just don't like the way Epic has handled anything, basically. Like, their store barely works. All they have are free games. That's literally it. Okay, so if I remember correctly, what we're looking for is actually on the other side of the island. There's nothing here. Looks like I got trapped by the Banshee thingamabobs. Similar to how there's a thing that you can help you get away from goblins so they're no longer hostile. There is for the Banshees as well, and I believe it's well on the other side of the island, though. These guys are a lot more hostile and a lot more obnoxious than the goblins, though. So it might be worth grabbing that instead. Okay, but I think for finding the God of Gluttony, we need to be around here. I'm guessing that's something for much later in the game, because I've never seen over on that island. I'll take that potion, though. And that's where you get your own house. You get that whole island over there for yourself. Pretty neat. Okay, so I think what we're looking for is around here. Might be wise to look for one of those obelisks, because that would tell us that there's something here we're not seeing. But we got this, or it could be this. Yeah, alright. Well, if we're lucky, Steam will end up buying the Epic Game Store for a pittance, and we'll be able to consolidate our accounts so we get all those free games. That would be the positive in all this. There, we now have a charm of 50. We can get the Goblin Mask, which I want to do. Also, there's this guy. Just this guy. This game is neat. Hey, this guy. Let's talk. Your hitbox a little wonky. Well, as long as you have those free games, they're there. I mean, I can't imagine that they'd end up deleting accounts or what's on the accounts. You might not be able to buy much after them, but I can't imagine that they'd ultimately remove the accounts or what's on them. Okay. Okay, take this aspect of myself, smuggle it into the Union Council chambers. Again, the religious jerks that imprisoned us in the first place. Place it at the highest point, and it will take seed. It'll be the Union meddlers to my presence, and I will move unshackled once more. Basically, this is the God of Gluttony, and he's currently trapped in here because, again, the religious nutbars that imprisoned us decided he's evil. And to be fair, he's basically the god of overindulgence. So he keeps people alive and fed and plump and stuff, but also like very, very greedy and stuff. So he's kind of a double-edged sword of a god. And they're trying to kill him outright, but in doing so, and I missed this part, but like all the farms in the local area are completely dead. And they're trying to hunt this guy down, and because he's removed himself from this place and is in hiding. All of the farms are destroyed and no one's got food. So we're going to try and bring him back, even though he is effectively an evil of sorts. Also, he's just freaking cool looking. I tend to claim free GOG games, but I just don't play them because they're not really made for controllers. I think I've bought one game on GOG, and that was TIE Fighter. Just because that's the best PC game, and there's not really a... There's a Steam version, but the Steam version doesn't have, like, the best version of it in there, so I kind of avoided that. It'd kind of be nice if, like, Valve somehow consolidated all three of those things. Like, I know you can install non-Steam games into your Steam account, but it would kind of be nice to just be able to plop all three accounts together and just have them all work through Steam. But I doubt that would ever happen unless Valve were to acquire the other two. Although I think they're in a great position to do so, given that they're Valve and their Steam. And, you know, the Epic Game Store, as you said, is kind of floundering and bleeding money. Probably get that for a pittance. And GOG is effectively CD Projekt. You probably could make an offer on it if you were really that bold. It'd be kind of nice to be able to just grab all the things and plop them onto one thing. Just for convenience, if nothing else. Okay, so we have this chunk of this god. We're going to go basically drag it back to the city, find the highest point, as just a giant screw you to these religious nut bars who imprisoned us and are actively trying to hunt this god down and kill everyone through famine because he's been sent into hiding. That's the plan. Because evil gods that keep people alive because otherwise they don't eat, you know, are they that evil? Maybe. But, you know, I think that people that are actively facilitating the extinction of the world is a slightly higher evil up here. Also, they imprisoned me, and I'm kind of a vindictive asshole about it. So we're going to actively try and take them down. Or at least, you know, shove it in their face that the god they've been hunting will now be basically on top of their home base. This game is neat. Alright, well, have a good day, Carrie. Not sure how much longer I'll be playing this. I've been playing it for about 2 hours now, and it is about 6 a.m. for me. I might stick around for a little bit. I still want to do that sort of castle quest over there, because that's a pretty interesting one as well. Okay, so we need to take this chunk of this god and move it to the highest point in this place, which I do believe is this clock tower. Also, we have a landmark we can record in our map. There we go. I'm hoping our jumping skills are up to the task here, because jumping is not our forte, really. Whoop. Whoop. Okay. Okay. Oh no, it's barred from the other side. This could be a problem. Okay. Okay. Oh. Oh. I think that's a place to teleport from there. But the aspect of him might be an item. No, it's not. Okay, hold on. Let's pop open our quest here. Let's see, that's completed quests. From under his nose, I think is the one we're looking for. Yeah, menu. There we go. Let's see. That's not it. God Hunt, that's the one we're looking for. Okay. If you wish to help, place the aspect to the highest point in the Union. Okay, so we got to go over there to the religious nut bar building. Fair enough. So we just got to go inside to their home base, find the highest point, and just plop a piece of their horrible god that they don't believe in and are actually trying to kill. Hello. You concealed the aspect in Hollow. It will bestow a curse on the nearby, allowing the cult to operate unhindered. You will seek him out, who may wish to reward you. You feel a dread presence. They are close right now. Yes, you have no idea. So we walk out, and then suddenly this happens. So let's just... Yeah, so there's the big angry god of gluttony that they're actively trying to hunt down. He's just sort of chilling now, right in their base, and they can't see him or do anything about it. It's great. So now he can make sure that people can eat, because he's a nice god of gluttony or something. So basically, the people who believe in him and that he can actually affect, they'll be able to see him. But the horrible, horrible people who are trying to kill him and stuff, yeah, they can't. Plus, we got some treasure. And we got a delusion. And now the land can begin to heal. The sick can be renewed, and in time, mortal bodies will undergo a glorious transformation. Yeah, remember that upside-down kind of slug guy? Yeah, this guy's going to keep people alive and fed and happy and not sick, but he's going to turn those people more into those horrible slug guys. That's just going to happen. I mean, fair enough, I guess. That's the drawback. Like, we've got a bunch of slug people, but they're going to be alive and happy and healthy, so that's good. I think we did the right thing there. Also, for the rest of the game, there's just going to be a horrible god of gluttony hanging around town. Like, that's just there forever. Because this game likes to give you, like, actual meaningful events that are reflective of your choices. And that's neat. Also, there's a dragon in the background. I'm going to keep pointing that out. So now that we've done that, and we have the charm, so let's go talk to that guy and get that thing I wanted to go get all that long way ago. I think the requirement for that has jumped out, because I swear it was 30 charm before, but now it's 50, which basically requires you to max out your stats for charm. But either way, I think we've got enough. We should be able to do this unless we get tired instantly. But I think we got this. So, let's go back and try this again. Oh, got another landmark we can record in our notebook. Upgrade our map. And we got another chart, so our map's gotten better. Okay, so let's try this again. Hi, this guy. Okay, yeah, I've embraced my wickedness. Let me pass. Yay! And inside, he was guarding this the whole time. The Goblin Mask. Doesn't give you much armor, but it turns you into one of those goblins, as far as the goblins care anyway. And that's actually kind of cool. Where's the... There we go. So, yeah, we're losing 8 armor, but at the cost of basically no enemies... No monster enemies, anyway. Human enemies will still attack us, but no monster enemies in this area should attack us anymore. This will not work on the Banshees. You need a specific item for the Banshees, and unfortunately you can only have one or the other equipped at a time, but the Banshee Mask is available through a dungeon. It's not too far away. But yeah, the horrible sort of Mononoke-esque goblin guys are just chilling, because we're friends now. What's up? And I believe the Mothras that are flying around are also our friends now as well. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much all the enemies around here that are really affected by this. But other than the Banshees and human enemies, that's kind of it. I can look at the Mothras. These are less common enemies. But they're cool looking. Unless you're scared of moths, which is definitely a thing that some people are. Okay, so we did that. I think what we're going to do next is go back to that castle and do the castle quest, because that's interesting. And I am out of soda stream. But we got some ammunition for a ranged weapon I don't think I've ever bothered acquiring. Okay. Got some coins, which is nice. Should probably spend the night at the inn so we heal up. There's an empty hollow in this tree, but there's nothing there. I do have another Steam kind of horror King's Questy kind of game that I've got in early access I wouldn't mind showing off. I think that'll be the next one we do, which I might do in a day or two. I'm just trying to come up with other things for Halloween streams that we can do. Like, I can do Monster Party again, and I want to, so we'll probably do that. It occurs to me I bought Splatterhouse a couple years ago on the Xbox 360. I never actually played that, so that might be good. I've got one or two Saturn games, although my Saturn is in a really precarious state. I really do need to just straight up replace that. Not sure what else I have available on Steam that would work. To rent a room. Take it. Like, I do have a couple of horror games, but I'm not sure many are Steam Deck verified. That'd be good to stream. But we'll see what happens. I do have a few other ideas. Okay, so we're gonna barge out of here. And we'll go back to the fancy castle we never actually went in because we were too busy looking for a god of gluttony. Turn people into slugs. But it's fine because they're not going to die of starvation. And they'll be happy when they're turned into slugs. So, you know, really everyone wins except for the religious guys who hate slug people, I guess. And gods. Whee! I did not jump over that like I planned. Let's try that again. Whee! There we go. Exactly how I planned the second time. Now, the problem with running in this game, I find, is it drains your stamina. And over time, your stamina, like, permanently drains. Like, you can recover it by going for rest at inns, but that's about it. So by running, you actually, like, permanently wear that down faster. So we're gonna avoid doing that if we can. I don't know if we got another Dread Delusion. Do we? I've got two. Okay, we're gonna boost Wisdom because that'll increase our lore, which I think is a pretty important stat for this next little quest thing we're gonna do. I'm not sure if we have enough for it, but we can take a look and try. But we can mess around with magic a little bit if those banshees get in our way. I have no idea what that is up there. That might be new. Actually, yeah, I know what that is. That was added with the Embryon, and that's a interesting little story area. So yeah, that's relatively new. So as we increase our magic missile will do more damage, but we don't really need to use it. I'd really like you to get off the bridge, because I don't really want to fight either of you. Alright, there we go. Running now. Jump. Okay. So let's get up to this castle, because there's some nonsense going on about it. You'll notice that there's a bridge to this tower. That's important, because if I remember correctly, while we're in the tower, we're not going to be able to see that. So we're gonna have to kind of get around the place by feel. Fortunately, the trick they use for that's actually pretty obvious. Also, if I remember correctly, this place goes a little bit hostile when we first enter this place, but I think it'll probably be fine. So yeah, we enter this place, there's a banshee, we're just going to sneak by that. We could get ourselves the banshee mask, that would help a lot. Also, there's just knights in armor. There's a, I think, a puzzle about that, but I'm not quite sure. Open door now. Okay, so is that banshee still following me? I know in earlier builds of the games, the monsters kind of didn't leave you alone. Kind of had to run real far before they left you alone. Okay, so this place is cursed. So what's wrong with it? Why is it cursed? So, it's been cursed. There's those banshee things. They're kind of wandering around a whole bunch. And the person in charge of this place is not in the best of shape. So some Wiccans showed up, and some bad stuff happened. So basically, this place is filled with invisible, like, pathways and stuff that are just hidden by paintings. It's not the most high-tech way of creating hidden passages or anything. It's a very low-tech way of doing it, but it's kind of cute, though. But you could also just brew a potion to fix the problem, but counterpoint, if you see this, or you see, like, that there's a painting that just goes all the way to the floor, you can probably walk through that. Again, not the most high-tech solution. They might do something about it, I don't know. I feel like this would be not something I would leave in this state if I was making this game, because it means finding these illusions is just kind of stupidly easy. But whatever. Truth potion! I don't really need that, thanks. Take that health potion. I'm not sure why it's flying a foot off the ground, though. Okay. Again, it looks a little kind of obvious. We have not enough mana. Fortunately, we do have mana potions. So let's chug a mana potion and awaken the... I'm not sure what this actually does, but... Oh, hey. Well, there's half your health. Ow. Alright. Okay, so again, if I were making this game, I'd probably hide this a little bit better. But we can go in there and talk to the proprietor of this castle. First, let's wander around here. So, this is the priest. Well, no one's really tried to stop me. Okay. Trying to read this place in illusion magic. You did kind of a sloppy job, not gonna lie. But, what's wrong with the castle? Okay. He wants to help these people, but you kind of doomed him. Some years ago, the castle was beset with a plague, and the Duke's son was affected. The Union wouldn't help, and the people turned to a god. But the god wanted tribute. He seemed nice. All I did was say I paid tribute, and everyone was just cool with it, but sure, why not? So, a poison engulfs the Duke as a trade to try and fix this, so that the plague can be kept away. But his life is weakening, and the god's spell finds new ways to take due payment. And this place becomes more and more cursed. So, this person's been deliberating for months as to what to do, but he's kind of not sure himself. He's got an issue with what's going on. So, there must be a way. Well, there's a secret room, and it holds a sacrificial poison, the same one that flows to the Duke. We could take it, and an overdose would be lethal, but if the Duke were to drink more, he would die, voiding the contract. And this madness would end, but the plague would return. So, plague will rack the land again if we kill the Duke, but we could do that. There is an alternative. If a second person were to take this, the god would be satiated, equilibrium would be established, but it would never fully go away. But it would kind of help and sort of solve the problem. So we got a bit of a moral quandary right now. Well, we could administer the poison on your behalf, since you don't know what to do. I mean, it implies that I know what to do. Also, that the knights are getting up. So that's what the knights basically were. We had to awaken them all up to open that door. I think, and I'm inferring this based entirely on logic, but if we could have awakened all the knights without talking to this guy, we could have opened the door ourselves. But if we have charm, we could just do it. Okay. So, I don't care to go through these dialogue boxes again. Okay. So, yeah, we awaken the knights. They hover off the ground to make themselves look even bigger. Dark Souls pulled that trick too. Got another piece of a delusion. We got a little alchemic table. Don't really care that much. Got a little zombie that's being worked on. And a zombie in a cage that's alive. Plus a magic table. And we can look out the courtyard and see how pretty this place is. This game is neat looking. I quite like it. Like in general, I like the PS1 aesthetic. But again, that's probably because I never had a PS1. I'm just sort of attached to it and want to explore everything about it. But either way, we got the sacrificial poison. Now we can give it to the Duke. That'll kill him. That'll end the madness here in this castle, but the plague will return, which doesn't seem like a good solution. Alternatively, if we could find someone else to give it to, that might solve the problem, kind of, sort of, possibly. Got an iron ore. Don't really need it, but I'll take it. Got some treasure. Don't really need it, but we'll take it. Again, this is supposed to be an illusion. I'm really hoping that they're going to work on this to make this a little less, I'm trying to be polite about this, but shitty. Because this just, it looks a little slipshod, not going to lie. It's not a great illusion effect. So this is the Duke. He's writhing in pain. And, of course, everything's going wrong. But this is the path we shouldn't have been able to see, but, well, you know. What's over here? It's the Duke's son. Son of the Duke. So, you know what's going on around here? Well, we're trapped. Yeah, that's not great. And now things are getting worse and worse here. And you're fearful because everything's going wrong. Well, I can probably fix that problem right now, friendo. I've got a poison. It'll probably cause the same thing that happened to your dad, but if a second person were to take it, things might be better for everyone. Well, it looks like his son's willing to take it to fix the plague and the corruption. He's willing to offer. And I think, honestly, that might be the solution. So, here you go. And then he lets out a piercing scream. He'll be in agony for the rest of all eternity. Sorry, mate. But, well, you did the right thing. I am sorry about this, though. But for funsies, let's talk to dear old dad. Yes, I totally condemn your son, but it means that your people aren't going to be deformed, your people are going to be fed, they're not going to die of the plague, and the curse has been more or less lifted. I'm not saying it's a perfect solution, friendo. I'm saying it was probably the best I could come up with, and he volunteered, and this was about as moral as I could be about things. I'm sorry, it's not ideal, but needs of the few versus needs of the many type of situation. Something. I did the right thing, I choose to believe. That's the nice thing about this, though. It doesn't really... And this game does it several times. There's not necessarily a right or moral answer to anything. It just sort of asks you a question, gives you two possibly horrible answers that make things equally as bad as they always were, but kind of fix some problems. And they just sort of leave you to decide what the best possible outcome of these events is. And there's a few things that actually do this. The next chapter actually makes the central conceit around one of these sort of moral choices. It's quite interesting. So I fixed the castle, kind of, sort of. But perhaps it's for the best. Even now the villagers are returning to normal. I helped. And by that I mean I condemned someone to eternal agony forever. But the point is, people are getting better, kind of, sort of. So how fares the castle? The horrors have subsided. Yay! You'll never truly be free, but I helped. That's the important thing. So yeah, yeah. There's not really a perfect solution to any of these events, but you know, you're just sort of forced to sit there and think about what you've done. There was a really good quest in Fallout New Vegas that was like that as well. You go in trying to help a farm that's being poisoned, and when you get to the solution, you realize, well, if I help this farm, I'm going to condemn a bunch of people to death, or I can, you know, ignore the farm, keep it, which will kill a lot of people as well through starvation and suffering, but I get to save this group of people who are right in front of me right now. And the funny thing is, unlike everything else in Fallout, or at least the Bethesda Fallout games, there's nothing moral about one way or the other. It's just you make the decision, you turn around, you live your life, and you think about what you did and whether or not you did the right thing. And, you know, the 10 Penny Tower in Fallout 3 was kind of like that as well, where there's not really a good solution where everyone ends up happy. And you're just sort of forced to sit there and think about it. That's the kind of like challenging questions I like in games that try and give you choices, you know, the ones that aren't clear cut, because there's rarely ever clear cut answers for anything in life, really. And it's the ones that make you really think at the end of the day, that really test your moral compass and really get you to actually analyze who you are and what you would do in this situation, that I find the most powerful. And this game does it quite a few times. Like this game, this little early access indie title, it does quite impressive things. I have done some chart stuff for you, Mr. Person. Okay, so we got a letter of recommendation. This will grant me access to the Academy. So we should go talk to their lead cartographer, because we are a master map maker now, and by that I mean we walked into some places and pulled out a book and scribbled in it. But that's the Academy up there. We can go up there, and there's actually some pretty cool quests up there. Like I said, there's like a whole mystery thing you get to take part in. It's pretty fun. This game does a lot, and it does a lot really well. I think the combat's a bit naff, and you can pretty much skip all of combat in this game, really, which is probably more a godsend than anything. But the world building and the way it builds its quests and the way it's written, when it's not broken anyway, is very, very powerful, very, very well done, and I have to admit, this game is quite special. This early access unfinished game, aside from the fact it's early access, I would be tempted to consider this for Game of the Year, or at least, you know, the list. Like, this has definitely been written on the list, and the only thing really keeping it from there is the fact that it is early access and it is unfinished. But overall, it's a lot of fun. It does some really cool stuff. So, I've got this letter of recommendation. I need to go to the Academy. So, how do I get in there? Well, it turns out you have to be awesome, and you need a letter of recommendation. Okay. Well, you look busy, and I think I have everything I need to go in there. Let's find out. Hey, random talking gate. I have a recommendation. Please open up. Alright. Goodbye, magical talking gate that's kind of layered in properly up there. It's early access. This is all the first real chapter, this giant area right here. You can see the second chapter over there. The dragon once again. And it looks like there's more and more that's been added since I last looked at this, because I don't remember there being all these giant areas in the sky. I think that might be the place where the Wiccans hang out. But yeah, this game's pretty special, I think. So this is the Magic Flying Academy. We've gained access here. We can now study and learn all the secrets that are hidden here, and get fast travel, because fast travel is located here as well. But I think that'll be it for now, because this is supposed to be a first impressions, and we've been going for over 2 hours now. This has been Dread Delusions, early access game on Steam. Really, really fun. I've been playing a lot of this over the past year, and since I played it, my first playthrough, there's the dragon again. Like I said, it was 10, 12 hours, and I was doing everything I possibly could, and there's been so much added since. And I'm excited to see where this goes. I want to see so much more, because this game, it's rough around the edges. Combat is basically completely worthless, for one thing. But it's neat. It's got some amazing world building, some interesting concepts, and some really neat ideas. And I think this definitely is one of the more special games I've played this year, even if it is unfinished. I'm quite enjoying this, and I'll probably play a lot more of this, and I can't wait to see where this game goes when it's finally finished. Even if that might be another year or two out. This game is quite special, and, if this looks interesting to you, and you like the sort of PS1 era Kingsfieldness of it, definitely consider this one, because it's very, very good. And, keep an eye out, because I do have another sort of horror-y PS1 era Kingsfield game on Steam that I want to talk about real soon. I might do that in a day or two, we'll see. But I should be back tomorrow, and by that I mean like today in, X amount of hours or whatever, to do Mega Man Battle Network, so look forward to that. More Mega Monday stuff on the way. I might do that other early access Steam game on Wednesday. We'll see. I probably should get back to Xenogears on Friday, but I'm not entirely sure right out. I might do some more Halloween stuff. Again, this month's a bit weird like that. You might also want to check out and subscribe to my YouTube channel, see everything else I do, which is a lot of stuff. I just put out a review for A Hat in Time a couple days ago. Not to spoil it, I think it did Mario Odyssey a hell of a lot better than Mario Odyssey did. So you might want to check that video out. And if you really want to make my day, check out the show's PayPal or Patreon. Support the show any way you can so that I can continue to do what I do to the best of my ability. Especially when my funding is looking a little bit scary. Because real life stuff is happening, unfortunately. Yeah, looking at some weird, interesting, early access, vaguely horror, but not actually, because I'm a total wimp when it comes to horror sort of games for Halloween. And just in general, some interesting adventure games I've wanted to play for a while. This is one I wanted to share for quite a while. I think it's pretty good, even if it is unfinished and it has some issues. Definitely check out Dread Delusions. Very, very fun game. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, Internet.